So, hi guys, hope you're doing great. I'm Jamal Bina from Upskill School of Engineering. Now, the first most important thing, guys, on this particular lesson, as you have seen, is that we're going to go ahead and actually start designing our floors, right? So, what exactly we're going to go ahead and actually do is I will come here and actually hide these layers. So, exactly, I don't think we're going to need them. And also dimensions, we're gonna hide them, but I will not hide any wall because these walls are actually structural bearing. So that's how basically you go ahead and actually hide layers as we saw on our lesson 8, right? So when now you want to draw a floor, so you're gonna come here on your left hand, and then on the design, you're going to collapse this, and then you're going to see here we have the slab tool. So this is where exactly now you can be able to really draw any type of a floor that you want for your design. So I'm going to click here, the slab tool, and then it's going to give you, it's going to have you this kind of a pop-up or this kind of a properties. So exactly then you can be able to change the different properties that you want to have. Now the first property of absolutely once you come here is that you're going to first of all see, this will be the slab thickness. You see here we have the slab thickness. For this case, guys, let's for example use 450. 450. Now this will be what? This is the offset to home storage. So this is where exactly probably you want to make it higher, or actually you want to lower it. But of course we're gonna look at that later. But this one you're gonna leave them at 0. Now on this side here, you can see on my right hand, you can see here we have the structural basic and then composite, and then here we have the structural basic, and then here you can see this is mostly called composite, and then this is basic, right? So in our case we're going to use this one. This one will actually include things like the floor finishes, the screed, when you want like to show those layers, and those layers will be shown here, but that will come later. So in this case, let's stick to this one, which is exactly going to be the structure, basic structure, right? Now other things you're not going actually to change. There is this about the reference. This one we're going to look once we draw, and then here is where you can change one or two things, but right now don't change. We'll change most of these things as we go ahead in designing complex building. Right now we're looking at the basics. Then here we have the model. This is where exactly you can be able to really change the color. Just the same way we had for the walls. Here you can be able to change the color of the slab or the texture and the material that you're going to use for your floor. So this one you're gonna, if they're like this, it absolutely means that now the color will be what is here. But if now you make them active, it will have that as the color. You see, so if you want to change the color, but of course you're gonna look at that. So you can say, go ahead and actually say okay. But this one we say, let me put 450 to be my slab. So this is my slab thickness. So you can go ahead and actually say okay. Now I'm going to draw it here. You can go ahead and actually now see here at the top we have now our layer. Of course we looked at layer, so here you need to change and place your slab on the light layer. For example, here I'm going to say my layer should actually be finished floor, right? So click on that, or alternatively you can go ahead and actually create a new layer. And of course we saw you come here on document layers and layers, model view and everything, and then you can say new, then you can name that particular layer. But in this case, let's stick to finished floor. But of course that's how exactly you can be able to create a new layer. Now the next thing you're going to look is here we have the polygonal. So this is where exactly, for example, if you choose this one, you can be able to draw that slab in a polygonal way. Just as a word suggests, is a polygonal shape. That means it has kind of not like the normal shape, for example a square or something. So for example, what exactly going to mean, for example, if I want to draw that slab here, I can actually use the edges of this room and actually go ahead and actually draw like that. You see, now that will be a slab. Now if I want to draw any kind of a shape, you can use that one. You see, the only thing you need to remember is that where you start, for example, you have started here, I have to go back to that so that then it can actually merge very well, you see. So that's the only thing you need to really understand. So it's just like walls, how we were drawing the walls, you see. So you can have that. Now when I come to on my 3D, you can see now we have these So you see now we can't see because now that layer is not active. So you need to come here and say layers and say show all layers. You see now these are our slab. Now, but now let me go ahead and actually delete this one, and let's delete this floor. And here also, guys, you can see now on my 3D we have that floor here, you see. So we have that floor which exactly we have drawn there, but I'm going to come here and actually delete this floor here. Now I want to look at the next option. Now come here, click on slab. We have this one which is actually now say rectangular. So you're going to click there, and then you can be able to draw you know, a slab which is rectangular in shape. So what exactly you can do, actually, you can actually type in the values. So for example, dimension 1, which will be the for example, if you put like this, the dimension 1 will be along the x-axis. So you can say, for example, I want a slab of 5,000, then you can go tap you know, the tabs button, or you can actually select and then say maybe 3,000. You see, then you say enter, then you're gonna have your slab there. So you can actually be able to draw, you know, any shape that you want for that slab. And of course we have this one, rotated rectangular. I think mostly you would really use this, but it's just like the same way we had for the wall, that it's kind of, you are determining one side and then you can pull that. You see, for example, here I can say this is 3,000, and then I can pull this. This is actually executable on one side. You see, I can pull it there, or I can say, you know, I want it to be maybe here, I want it to be 5,000 in this direction, and then I can determine the size on this side. You see, I can go there. Now I can come here on the 3D, and then I can see what exactly you have been drawing, and these are all the slab you have been drawing. So that's how exactly that you use the slab tool for our design. Let's go ahead and actually start drawing on our design. Now, the first thing, we're gonna go ahead and actually come here on the slab tool, and then you can draw that on the exterior. So for this one, because this is kind of a regular shape, I can actually use the rectangular option here, and then just drag it all the way to here, you see. So when I come here, I can be able to see that I have my floor already in place, you see, and then it has this kind of colors that are already showing on my design, you see. Now, so we have our floor already, but one thing that I want you to really understand is to check that, for instance, when you look at this slab, there's this option here I want you to check. You see, there's this, what exactly we're calling the reference plane location. So this one, you see, once you have this one, it's going actually to have it going downward. That's the reference will be at the top. Now this floor, as you draw it, you see we were drawing it on the ground floor, you see, so it's actually going downward, you see. So the thickness is actually on the downward part, which is actually the same for floors, that when actually we are building, they are mostly you know, occupying the floor below it. You see what I mean? Like for example, when you have if you have, for example, let's come here, you have, let's use the polyline. If you have a house which has a height of, for example, what, 2,700, so let me use this and say maybe at 3,000 the size, and then the height to be 27. You see, now when you are doing the concrete, remember now this will be your floor. So this is my floor and this is my other floor, you know. So here, if I take the dimension here, let's look at this. So I'm gonna say show all, and then I'm gonna have this. So you see my height is 27. So this is the floor to floor height, right? So if now I have a slab, when actually you're doing the slab, you know, you're doing the concrete work or the concrete pour, what exactly gonna happen is that you will have this, and now you will have your slab casted downwards, you see, because then the formwork or the soffit of your formwork for the slab will actually be on this part, right? So you're going to have here, for example, the thickness of that slab to be 150. You see, so that's the whole thing. So that then the floor will be at the top. So that then we can say that the floor to floor height will actually be 27, right? So that's the whole thing. Now, if I come here, for example, when you're doing the floor on the slab on grade, this is what exactly we call the slab on grade. The first, the slab that you're going to cast on the ground, right? It's actually going to form the ground floor slab. So when you are casting it, you will go downward, you see, because so you're probably going to have like 100, maybe 4 inches thickness for that slab. So that's basically what exactly those reference line will mean. So in our case here, for example, so you're gonna have it there. So that now when I want to know the height, the floor to floor height will be actually this. So that then the bottom of my slab here will actually be my ceiling. So that now if I take now the ceiling height will be kind of the floor to floor height minus the slab height. You see now here the slab thickness is actually here. You see it's 150 and now this is 2550. So because then the floor will be casted kind of occupy the space of the floor below it. So that's what exactly then happens when actually you're drawing. So that's why we have these two options. Now let's go on our 3D and see what exactly happens if you choose the alternative. Now if you have this slab and then you choose this option, you see now it occupies the part of the wall. You see where the wall is? This wall is all the way to here. So that is actually long, because now if now I take the height, the floor to floor height, if I come here on my dimension, but I'm not, we on 3D can't take dimensions, but we can take the height of it here, click there and then come all the way. You see we have 2250 because now that will be now the floor height. So most of the time you're going to use this one, but if it requires that you use this, then well and good. But for this one, keep it that you have this one as your reference plane, you see. And now guys, we can go ahead and actually change the color. You can right click and then say slab selection settings, and then you can come here and change the color. For example, when you see here, this is the edge where exactly we have the yellow color, which is this one. And then guys, when we rotate, I want you first of all to see the different colors that we have. You see at the bottom we have white, on the edge you have this yellow kind of, and then how we have kind of a wood like texture or the finish. So what exactly we're going to do is we're going to come here and say slab selection selection settings, and then you're going to come here on model attribute, and then here you can change actually that floor. Let's change first of all this yellow on the edge. You can come here and change it maybe to black. You can use a marble black, and then you can say okay. You see now you have that black, right? So now also on the bottom you can actually change that from white maybe to a different color. Maybe you can use like what color guys do you want to use? Probably like the glass like, right? So you can use this glass brown here and say okay, and then you see now here you have that kind of a glass like and then on the top guys also you can change the color of this one, but actually come in here and repeat the same, select the slab selection settings, and then you can change the top of this one, and maybe what exactly color can we use? Maybe you can use the parquet. You see this option here, this one, let's use this one, you see. And you see guys, now we have kind of a wood like finish on that floor. Now alternatively you can actually use maybe you can go and choose the tiles. Yeah, so probably you can choose the tiles here, and so you see here we have the selection for tiles. Maybe we can say let's use the what tiles guys, maybe mosaic blue. Yeah, so that one, yeah, so you see now we have that kind of what tiles on our floor. So that's how exactly you design slab. You use the slab tool to design for your slab. Remember guys that also this slab tool will also be used to put, for example, if you want like a ceiling or something, but that one we are going to do it on a later stage. Now guys, let's see this one guys, because this is important. Now let's assume guys now that this is our entry porch, and of course you want to have a step. How you can be able to do that? You can actually come here. You see now I want to have this slab not to be covering the whole space, because now guys, remember here we have our rear porch, right? And also here we have our entry porch. Mostly guys, you find that because of you don't want, like when it's rainy, that you don't want water to come into your building. What exactly you're going to do sorry for that, you're going to have kind of a step here so that then the water will not come into the building. So how do you go about that? Now, what exactly we're going to do? We're going to, you can come here, click on that edge, you see here, and then you're going to be given all these options. So what we're going to do, we are going to insert a new node. So that node, and then that node, I'm going to come here and try and trace it with this one, and then bring it all the way here. You see, maybe there, right? So once I have that, I can actually use now click here, because now I don't want this slab to be here, because I want this to have a different level. So I'm going to use this option here, offset edge, and then I can pull that. You see, the offset edge, you can actually now pull only that part without affecting this part. You see, that's the only movement. So I can actually bring this slab all the way to here. Now, guys, here now I don't have a slab. And then when you come here, you will notice now here I don't have a slab. You see that? Here I don't have the slab. So here I want now we create a new slab. And also, guys, here I don't want to have this slab. So I'm going to come here also, and I don't want to delete. What I'm going to do is also create a new node and offset edge. So I'm going to come here on one of the, on this line and click. And then I'm going to choose insert a new node. So you see here, I'm going to come here and trace it with that one. Come here, and then I will use this one, and then come here and choose offset edge. You see, I'm going to use that and bring this here. You see, so now when you come here, guys, you will note that I don't have a slab there. So what exactly now I want to do there is I want now to draw a new slab. So but now I want to have a step. So what am I supposed to do? Now I'm going to come here on a slab. You see, guys, the first one we had 450, right? So what I'm going to do, I want now to go to have a step of around 150. So what I'm going to have is this one was 450. So here I'm going to reduce it by 150, right? So I'm going to write 300 there, and then here I will now say negative 150. I hope now you understand that. So here was 450 for the previous one. Remember, guys, that when actually you're building, you're going to be like trying to compare different levels from a certain, what exactly we call the benchmark, right? So in that case, then what exactly will happen is this was a 450. So now we're going to have that height to be 300, and then I'm going to go down by 150, so that then I have a step of 150. Now, if I go down here by 100, it means now the step will be 100. Remember, guys, we are going now negative because this is on our ground floor, and our ground floor is actually on a level 0. So actually now we are going down by 150 because that's actually a step that we are creating. I hope now you understand that now. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to come here and now draw that slab. You see, now you're going to come here. Now I have chosen the rectangular, and then you can come here and draw that slab. Then what exactly, you're going to come here again and check how that goes. Now you see here, you know, when you look here, guys, let me show you here. You see now we have a step. You see, we have this slab has a step. You see, we have a step. You see, this is what exactly I'm talking about. That this distance here is 150, but this floor now, you see, on the bottom they are on the same level. That's why I'm using, when I add both, they will have, when you see here, when you add this and this, it is 450, just like this one. Right? So if I click here, it's negative 150. So this distance here. Now, if guys, I come here and check, you can check actually this one, measure. You can come here and check. You see, we have 150. So that's how we create a step. Now, I think we can actually even let's use the split. Let me delete this wall so that it can be clear. And then we can pull this one here. There's something I want to do with the walls. You see, yeah, so now because this is an entry point, probably you don't need a wall there. So you see, now we have a step. So once you have water here, it won't spill over into your building. So let's do the same at the back and create the same kind of the same slab. So here guys, I'm also gonna go ahead and actually do the split option and delete that wall, right? So what exactly I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna come here on the slab, and then I will use the same settings. You see, I use the same setting, 300, negative 150, and then I'll come here and draw that slab here. You see, and then we'll actually pull this, stretch this wall here. Then you can come here and check at the back. You see, now we have a very nice step for which one. Now, let's say, for example, now we want to draw another step on the front. You see, like now I'm showing you how to do, steps in Archicad, right? So you come here also again on the slab tool. How is it? Oh, okay, I don't know why. Yeah, so you're gonna have the slab. You see now, we want now to have a step which now leads to this part. Now, this step here was 150. Now, you want now to go down further so that then you can be able to create another step on top of that, right? Below that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going now to say the next step will be 150. So here, the height now will be 150, but now this one will be 300 because my steps are 150 or 6 inches. So now I can come here. Once I have that, you see cumulatively this one also will give you 450. So I can come here and draw that step again. You see, I'm gonna come here all the way to there, and then I can decide what is the width. You see I have 2 dimensions. I have 36, and then the other one which is changing. So maybe I can say 600. So what you can do, you can actually use the tabs option on your keyboard. You see on the left hand where exactly you have the cap lock, you can use the tab tool and just click twice, and then you can say 600, right? And let's say enter. You see now once we come here guys, you can see now we have a new step there. You see, so that's a step. Yes, so that's how you go and create steps on your. So you're gonna do the same for here at the back, and you just have the same settings, negative 300 and 150. So that then here you can have your step. I hope now you understand. Then you can decide what exactly will be the size, and then it can be as big as you want, and that's how you have. You see now we have a step. So this was 450. This has a height of 300 but negative 150. This now has a negative 150, that is 300, and it have a height of 150. That's what exactly now we can be able to see. That's how exactly guys you can be able to have your floor. Finally guys, you can actually change now the color of these steps. Maybe we can use a different color. Maybe let me use this stone marble color, white, yeah, for the top. And also here probably I can use probably a different kind of material. Let me use parquet 2, right? And also the side, let me use marble black. Yeah, so that's how exactly that we have a very nice floor. Look at that, it looks really good. Now you see here we have the yellow color. How exactly you can change is actually come here and change that yellow into black. That's gonna look good. Of course guys, you see this tile doesn't look very well. This kind of a wall tile or the swimming pool tile. So let's change it and maybe have this parquet tool looks absolutely amazing. At the bottom you can use glossy white. Yeah, so that's how you can have your floors and everything. But then guys, the last and most important is I told you about the height of walls. You see guys, here we have this wall is actually kind of hanging. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to come here and you see bottom offset to the home story. Now here guys, I'm going to put or bring the value of what exactly we have here for this. You see this floor has a negative 150. That's what exactly I'm going to come here and have negative 150. You're going to see that wall goes down. you see. But now guys, you see at the top it is still on the same height, because why? It's actually, you see now it's read 2850 because the height of the wall is 27, but now I've added negative 150, so that's 2850. The same here guys, you can see here this is 27, so here I'm gonna put negative 150, you see. Yeah, but now guys, if in case your wall was actually not linked, you see, you're gonna have this here. You see now it's 28 now. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. So you're supposed now to come here and put that kind of a negative sign, so that then you can have your wall well good. So I think we are doing good. So on the next lesson guys, now we can start having the windows and the doors for this particular design. So then I hope now you have even a question, ensure that you ask in the comment section, or you can use the WhatsApp number and ask any question that you feel you need to be clarified. But I think so far so good. We are doing great. So then maybe in the next lesson, as I said, we are going to look at windows, placing of the windows and the doors for this design. And I think it's coming out very well, and it's going to be good. And we're going to do that roofing, do a lot of things, pull the furnitures and everything, so that then we can have a very fantastic design for this 2-bedroom. Then now we can be able to go ahead and do a 3-bedroom, a maisonette, and all other design. That will be very most important. So see you on the next one. I'm Jamal the Builder from Upskill School of Engineering. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below. So see you on the next one.